Good job.
It is 5:02, and I'd like to call the school board meeting to order. Lisa, could we have a roll call, please?
Director Seaver? Here. Director Rice?
Here.
Director Karati Simon? Director Stoddard?
Here.
Director Lappin?
Here.
Board Chair Bravo?
Here.
Superintendent Roman?
Here. Meeting is called to order. We have a quorum. Item 2 is public comment, and I don't see anybody that's signed up. Item 3 is recognition of guests and visitors, and we have Marissa Pasenda. Is going to address the board.
I am.
Come on up, Marissa.
Okay, where would you like me?
Right there.
Right here?
Right there.
Right here,
Yeah.
so I can be
That
right
works.
in front of
You can
this.
lean against the wall if you want.
Okay,
You know,
thank
do whatever you need to do.
No, so I submitted a letter to you all last week. I'm not sure if you have that in front of you still. If you want me to pass it out, I have an extra copy. Anybody need an extra? There you go.
I'll take one.
Okay.
We got notes on the back of that one.
That would be me. No, we don't know it's everywhere.
Take another one. I read the email then.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I didn't know that. I got a packet. Lots of information.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm good, I got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. So I wrote out a letter, and actually, it was just in consideration of possibly looking into getting a assistant cheerleading coach. So I kind of put a little thing together. Since I wrote you the letter, I'm just gonna summarize and talk a little bit through what I asked. So it's nice to be here tonight, thank you. The reason I'm speaking is because I submitted that letter in regard to adding an assistant coaching position to the Chisholm cheerleading program. I started cheerleading way back in 1995, which it seems so like close to me, but I'm like way back in 1995. With my first and only coach, Mrs. Campbell. It was a robust program, including a varsity football cheer team, a boys basketball cheer team, a girls basketball cheer team, a hockey cheer team, and junior varsity and varsity mixed in between. Mrs. Campbell made it possible for me to join that sport that I ended up loving, meeting new friends, having fun, and seeing what hard work and determination could do. She was busier than ever, and I appreciated her and her drive to keep that program going. So I always laughed because we always said, she never sits down, she never rests. And I ended up cheering for the football, boys basketball teams throughout my high school career from 1995 until I graduated in 2000. So I'd like to continue that legacy and the cheer team in Chisholm for the students. So when I decided to apply for head coach in the winter of 2017, when Mrs. Campbell decided to retire as cheerleading coach, she helped me out right off from the start. I still appreciate her to this day. So it was supposed to be a building year in my mind, right? A couple people. But I ended up with 24 cheerleaders signed up to try out between the JV and varsity cheer. So at that time, when I had this big tryout, I asked for assistant coach, but we were kind of wanting to see where it would go from there. So it was declined at that time. And I understood because I didn't know if I could sustain it for more than that year or not. So I was told just to make some cuts, maybe bring the team down to 10 or, 5 here, 5 there. But that didn't really sit well with me because I wanted to build a program and I was still gung-ho about it and wanted to give the students the same opportunity I had. So I decided just to make 2 big teams and go with the flow. So Mr. Morrison had to help me order some new uniforms for my big team. And I was thankful for his support. And it turned out to be a great decision. So my experience helped tremendously, along with, of course, the tenacity of the young high school students. And it's been a pleasure over the last 3.5 years. We've just kept seeing students come forward and forward and forward. So when I began, I knew I was embarking on new territory in my world because I'd never been a coach. And then I realized very quickly why it always seemed like Mrs. Campbell never sat down, because that's how I feel now. So cheer is a busy job. The show must always go on. The coach must always be prepared even when the unexpected happens. I submitted a list of responsibilities to you, calendars for November, December, and January. And for added fun, pictures of the past few seasons. So you can see that I'm busy, the cheerleaders are busy, In order to keep growing the program, an assistant coach would be a beneficial addition to the cheerleading team. So I thank you for your consideration, and hopefully, you know, if you need anything, you can give me a call or check it out. I'm not sure if they got the responsibility packets or not, just all of the information that I sent to you so you can see what we do, what I do, and maybe possibly look and see. You know, it's really hard differentiating instructions for a junior varsity and a varsity team at the same time. So we have a lot of practices scheduled together, but it's kind of like I'm running over here and doing this, and then I'm running over here doing this with them. And I really want to be able to work together with someone else so that we can come together and I can teach better than what I'm allowed to do with the time that I have. So just think about it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marissa.
Okay. We have Patrick Lenzer?
Landon, yep,
Lenzen,
yep,
regarding the
fall lay, yeah. Can I
Okay.
come up and talk? You want me to wear my mask or?
No, you don't have to.
First of all, I'd like to comment that the Christmas presentation was excellent that they put on. I went to that. It was wonderful. They did a great job. And I think overall, I think the school does a great job. I really am happy. Especially I went to Hibbing High School over there, but I think this school does a great job too. So the play, I had no idea what it was about. I went there and realized what it was when obviously I was there, but my main concern is that the play, you know, it came off as a satirical play on this Evil Dead thing, you know, and I don't know if you've seen anybody wants any of these copies, but that's what it was about.
Okay.
You know, the problem with it, they made a satirical play off of the demonic, and really upset me. I mean, it was just the whole thing from beginning to end was all about demons. It was about the head demon, and then the rest were getting killed, and all this, and reciting enchantments that brought everything to life, and it was just not the kind of play that I'd like to see, you know. And I think there's a whole world of plays out there that they could be picked from, but this was really awful. I mean, it was extremely awful. It was, and some people might have a different light on it, looking at it from a different angle and through a different lens possibly. But the fact is, that they're joking about something that is absolutely real and nothing to joke about, nothing that our kids think is passe at all. And that's why I was so upset about it, because anybody that attends church on weekends maybe has a little bit of an understanding about the realities of what this is. It's not just something that can be tossed around lightly, and it was tossed around lightly completely in that setting. And you know, I've been a born again Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ, the Son of God. Have been since '85. I'm proud of that. And I'm also aware of realities that maybe some of the people just don't realize on a day-to-day basis that they take for granted. But these are realities, and our children should never, ever be in settings that take this kind of stuff lightly, because it's damaging to them, and especially damaging if they think that it's fuzzy and warm and we don't have to worry about it, because it's nothing like that at all. But this portrayal of that is what it was, completely from the onset to the end. It was that way. It was like that, and it was disturbing completely. So, like I said, I'm not here to. This school does a lot of great things. I think it's a wonderful school system here. I back you guys 100% completely, and it's just a wonderful place. I love this school system here. So I'm with you. It's just that wasn't a very good choice. I would like maybe in the future if somebody would kind of take a look at it, you know, and see if it really has some kind of value. Is it harmful to our kids? You know, because the younger kids that were in that audience, it was definitely not appropriate for young, you know, a younger audience. And there was young kids there. I looked around, there was young kids, and it was, you know, So anyway, I could ramble on and on about it, and I'm not gonna do that to you. But I just wanna leave you with that, and hopefully we can consider something like this in the future. Thank you for your time.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Patrick. Okay. Noted that members' karate assignment is here. Okay, next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda? Motion is by Shelley. Is there support? Support by Cindy. Comments or questions on the agenda? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, motion to approve the minutes of the November 22nd, 2021 regular meeting. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Motion is by Danielle. Is there a support?
Support.
Support by Jackie. Comments or questions on those minutes? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6 is reports. Superintendent Norman.
Thank you. Been working with the city on a snowshoe project at Redhead. They have 38 pairs of snowshoes and they're looking to see if our PE classes can help pack the trails for fat tire bike racing. That's a work in progress, but I do have some interested folks in doing that and looking to move that forward. And hopefully that'll come to fruition soon. It is a grant-related project to purchase the snowshoes, and so we're working on that, but I think it'd be a great thing for our kids to go experience. Detroit Diesel did come through and they donated $2,500 for the robotics team to fulfill the agreement needed in order to get our team launched. And I know she added another team member or two, so we are good to go there. That was great to see the local company help support this. And so Teresa said she would be giving more information in the near future once we get launched on it, but all the paperwork's in, funding is in place, she's got kids interested, and we're moving forward. The folks from the Safe Schools grant were up here, and I saw a board member was able to walk with the group to check out the Safe Schools neighborhoods and surrounding areas on the safe walking. And we've done the bus stops at the beginning and end of the day, the walks, and we've had a number of meetings, and the grant application is in process. So there will be more to come from that. Administration team met with Ingenza to discuss physical space use on our campuses, and they interviewed a number of staff, and they did some follow-up surveys with students. And we will be actually meeting with them tomorrow on some proposals on the outcomes of those things. So we'll have some more updated information after tomorrow's meeting at 10 o'clock. Interviewed on December 6th for an Indian Ed position between Hibbing and Chisholm school districts. There was an offer made and it's pending a background check. Are we still in the pending status?
As far as I know.
Okay. So interviewed a number of candidates for that, and hopefully all works out there, and we'll have another update in the very near future, and it'd be great to get somebody on board for that. I want to say thank you to Rosie Marino for mittens that she donated to the bond that she made herself, so thank you for that. Lastly, it's been just over 4 full months partnering with Hibbing Business Services. And we had a survey sent out to members, and then phone calls were made to all the retirees. And we had about a 90+% approval of staff. Interesting, a number of retirees had said in their response, we didn't even know there was a change. So that says that it was pretty seamless. So I was glad to hear that. In the near future, we'll have to have a discussion on how you would like to move forward and next steps with that on the current agreement and what that might look like going forward. So that's all I had for now. Anybody have any questions?
Well, I have a question. I mean, you are the athletic director also.
Do we have any reports as what's happening with our athletics? Who's doing what, or any numbers as far as participation rates or what's
I
going
can-
on with our athletic department?
I can gladly get that to you on the next meeting, so I'm accurate and not just throwing
So
out
you have
some.
no numbers, no idea how many people are in any activities or?
Again, I'd like it to be accurate and reflect actually what's going on, so I will get that to you at the next meeting.
Okay,
Any other questions for the superintendent? Okay, thanks, Adrian. Okay, item 7, correspondence, we have none. Item 8 is the consent agenda. Item A is the payroll for the month of November, $602,802.11, and that's attachment 3 in your packet. And item B is the accounts payable for the month of November, $635,465.76, and that is attachment 4 in your packet. So, seeing those two things on the consent agenda, I am looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda as read. Motion is by Cindy. Is there a support? Support by Jackie. Comments or questions?
I had a question when I was looking at the bills. I know it wasn't a whole lot, but what would we be paying Lake Country Service Co-op for? We're not in their area, are we? I mean, we always had MPNL, I don't know what Lake Country Service Co-op would be.
Lake Country Service Co-op is the equivalent of the Northeast Service Co-op in the Fergus Falls area, I think. I'm not exactly sure what service they provided, but I can
Oh, okay,
get back to you. But it's a service co-op, like the Northeast Service Co-op.
okay, all right. I mean, like I said, it was only $63, so it might have been. I was thinking it like Lake Country Power is what I was thinking, but okay, that's fine.
I will research that and send you.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, all right. Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda as read. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 9 is the action agenda, personnel portion. Item A, motion to approve the hiring of Brady Bohm as temporary boys head swim coach for the 2021-2022 season. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
By Danielle, is there a support?
Or,
Is that Clarice? Clarice, okay.
Was he the assistant before?
He was a volunteer.
Okay, motion and a second to approve the hiring of Brady Bohm as temporary boys head swim coach. Any other comments or questions on the motion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, motion to approve the hiring of Jennifer Raleigh as a long-term substitute, high school science, effective January 24th through June 3rd, 2022. And that's attachment 5 in your packet. Do we have a motion?
So made.
Motion is by Shelley, is there support? Support by Jackie. Any comments or questions?
Isn't she a para? Should she be resigned before we give her another job?
it's on here.
I mean, it's on here, I
Yeah.
know, but seem like we put the cart before the
It's
horse.
here.
It's kind of in the wrong order.
Yeah, I didn't know if it made a difference, could you do time of hire and?
Yes.
So I,
Well, I think because she said it was, in there, as long as she's accepted, so maybe that's why it was first.
It doesn't start till January.
Or as long as it was approved, I
So it
mean.
doesn't start today anyway.
right,
So,
yeah, okay.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the hiring of Jennifer Raleigh as the long-term substitute. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Time of hire is 5:21. Okay, item C is a motion to approve the hiring of Andrew Jugovich as a long-term substitute high school science starting January 17th, 2022 through approximately April 19th, 2022. Do we have a motion? Motion by Jackie. Is there support?
Or
Support by Clarice. Any comments or questions?
why it says somebody like for 1/4 till April 19th?
Somebody's on maternity leave.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Motion and a second to approve the hiring of Andrew Jugovich as a long-term substitute. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Time of hire is 5:23. Item D. Is a motion to approve a leave of absence for Jennifer Raleigh from her paraprofessional position effective January 24th, 2022 through June 3rd, 2022. We have a motion.
so made.
Motion is by Clarice and support by Cindy. Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item E, a motion to approve the addition of an assistant cheerleading coach effective December 13th, 2021.
So made.
Support.
Motion is by Clarice and a support by Shelley. That's full staff? Yeah, that's full staff. Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item F, a motion to accept the resignation of Lisa Sorensen, paraprofessional at the elementary school effective December 6th, 2021. Is there a motion?
So made.
So motion by Jackie. Is there support? Support by Shelley. Any comments or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item G, a motion to approve the transfer of Darlene Hanson from job number 179, high school custodian, to paraprofessional at the Von Steffensrud effective December 7th, 2021. We have a motion.
So made.
Motion is by Clarice and support by Shelley.
This is the one we just.
We just moved, right?
did last
Yeah.
meeting, right?
Yeah. Okay, any comments or questions?
Well, according to the contract, they've got,
It's like it's sliding
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
they're not, it's not what they wanted, they go back.
Yeah.
Well, there's a position, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item H, a motion to approve the transfer of Crystal Flack to job number 183, high school paraprofessional, effective December 6th, 2021. We have a motion.
So made.
Motion by Clarice. Is there support? Support by Jackie. Any comments or
Where's
questions?
she transferring from? I mean, is she just going to another para position? Okay.
Okay, motion and a second to approve the transfer of Crystal Flack. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, a motion to approve the posting of job number 184, internal, external, paraprofessional, Chisholm Elementary, effective December 10th, 2021. Motion is by Jackie. Is there support? Support by Shelley. Comments or questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to business. We have a motion to approve the world's best workforce report. That was in your packet, attachment number 9. Do we have a motion?
So made.
Motion is by Shelley, and the chair will support.
So just a little question. So on this, so there's some things that we didn't meet. I guess I'm just like curious as to, do we have like a group that's kind of meeting on it to see like what, what we can do so that we can meet these goals? I know with lack of data from 2020 from COVID, there's a lot of those numbers are, whatever, but I was just curious. I actually found this report to be in better organization and shape. I felt like I could actually read it and get the information than it was previous years, but I was just curious if we're like looking at some of the goals that we did not meet and making sure that we can figure, do what we can to address that.
Yeah, there's some highlights in there that, improving our work-based learning, teaching position and moving that forward. Daily literacy blocks, the curriculum specialist to help with updating our curriculum, on-site credit recovery this summer, some of these local business partnerships such as Delta. Those are all kind of the highlight reel, and you're correct, the data was a little skewed and outdated. This document hadn't been updated since 2018. And we did get a cross-section of community members, teachers, administration together, and we had a couple of meetings. We had a working group, and then we had a larger session group meet. And we kind of decided, let's use this year for baseline data and then track growth and improvement from there.
I think that's a good idea.
Thank
you for updating us, but I guess it was nice to see it again, kind of in an organized fashion where I could follow the data, which you could clearly see that was lacking because of COVID and not having the MCA scores and things like that, but I'm glad to see that it was back in the packet and it looked like it had been updated and worked on, so.
Yeah, well thought out, no doubt. Okay, any other comments or questions? So we have a motion and a second to approve the world's best workforce report. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item B is a motion to approve payment to Ryan's Independent Electric Incorporated in the amount of $15,900 for work completed at the high school to replace ground fault circuit interrupter equipment. Do we have a motion?
So made.
Motion is by Clarice. Is there a support?
Support.
Support by Jackie. Adrian, you want to go through what this
Yeah,
is
this was the
about?
actual main hub that went into the school, and we had a number of power outages and failures, and it happened to be where a water collection area was, and it was corroding and causing multiple issues to the point where we were worried it'd burn the building down. So he came in and took a look, and it was a failed ground fault, and so he replaced the whole hub and did it to code, so we should be good now. But we knocked the power out 3 to 5 times, and it was time to be replaced. He said his father had put it in years ago, so.
Aren't some of those the things like, is that something IDA should have caught? Or no? I mean, I know
So some things that are internal that you can't see unless you pull it all apart are a little harder to find. I just sent a photo and a problem that occurred today in this building where a condenser line blew downstairs, but it's in a wall and it's in the ground as well, but you can hear some hissing. And so I sent Luke the photo and said, by the way, put this in your report, this just happened too, so.
Okay. Okay, any other comments or questions? Do we have a motion and a second to approve the payment to Ryan's Independent Electric for $15,900? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
I would like to comment one more thing about it. So when they did knock the power out, we didn't know what all was gonna be connected to it as far as this building or the bus barn or anywhere else. So they did all the work on a day that no one was around. We found out that many of our emergency lights failed. And so they're gonna have to come in by code to get those fixed. And so they're looking at over Christmas break. There was system failures. They're supposed to last 20 minutes and they didn't last 2 to 3 minutes. And so it did trigger something that we now have to take the next step there too. But it's good to learn when it wasn't an emergency than if it was an emergency, so.
Yeah, those were done not that long ago. Well, I guess I've been gone for a while, but I remember when they were all.
It wasn't a ton, it was 6 or 8,
Yeah,
but
I was
it
gonna
still
say.
added up.
Okay. We vote on that?
Yes.
Okay, item C is a motion to approve the following. Number 1, student completes the application for educational benefits or is on the direct certification list and qualifies for free lunch. The district will pay the activity fee. Number 2, student completes the application for educational benefits and qualifies for reduced lunch. Half of the activity fee will be paid by the district. So this is in regard to activities. I mean, people who can pay the fees to participate and.
A lot of districts do this, some do just 50% cost across the board. Many do, if you're on free lunch, it's free activities fee, if you're on reduced, it's reduced cost. I had a phone call that asked if there was a grace period to pay the fee and they were having a hardship. And so I looked through and I saw that this was not anywhere in our contract.
510.4, policy 510.4 covers this stuff, doesn't it? Or it's up to the discretion of the athletic director.
So I was trying to make it a blanket statement that if they're on free lunch, it's free, and if they're on reduced, it's reduced to
And we can,
50%.
we can revise that policy and add that right in there, because there is always arrangements would be made, you know, with the athletic director, because there would never be any student denied any
Yeah, right.
access to any athletic activity.
So that's a great point, what you just said, because
Yeah.
the reason it's written the way it is, you still need to fill out the paperwork, because that's where your compensatory ed dollars are
That's
from.
right.
And that's really important that we do that, and so this would put that layer in for that. There's also, in the fall, activities director can apply for a fund that could help with this balance as well. So there's ways to support this for students that families are having hardships.
Okay, great, okay.
Because we're having a policy meeting on Wednesday at 11 o'clock. And we can review and make sure we
Yeah.
had this into our policy 510.4. That's part of the athletic, and that does cover the fees and.
Activity fees, yeah.
Very good.
Okay. Okay, so I'm looking for a motion to approve items 1 and 2.
So we
Motion by Jackie.
I'll
There's
support.
support. Support by Danielle. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item D is a motion to approve the Aptigee contract in the amount of $12,280.
So currently, we pay for 3 different products. We pay for School Messenger, we pay for 4 websites, but it visually looks like 1 website, but it's 4 websites in one. And then we also pay a social media contract. The combined dollar amount for that is $13,050. This is a one spot that can do all 3 of these things. And that's the upfront cost of getting our system to work with their system. And then in year 2, we'd be saving about $7,780 on the contract. So it's a matching cost in year 1, and then year 2, almost an $8,000 savings by doing it this way. It puts the control of social media over onto us. It's a product called ThrillShare that's built into it, where teachers, community members they can send photos, and then we can, with a click of a button, choose if we want them on our website, if we want them on Twitter, if we want them on Facebook. We can choose to have comments on, off, etc. So it's going to take a little bit of work on the backside, but we would have ultimate control over that. It does work well with Google and any of our docs and information, and it also works well with Power School. So Joe and I have had multiple meetings with them. We did vet another company for Messenger. We've looked at other options in Hermantown, Cass Lake, Floodwood, Nashua, Kiwanis use this product as well.
And it'll work good with our new one?
So what I like about this is it has its own app that we would have, that would be a Chisholm Schools app that you can send the messages through there as well. And then the webpage is designed like your phone. So instead of the lunch menu is a PDF and you have to blow it up and see you're having corn dogs on Tuesday, this will just have the date Tuesday and it scrolls vertically so you can see what's on Wednesday and what's on Thursday and Friday. So they built their site to parallel what phone usage looks like because most people use their phone as their tool to look these things up. So it'll be a better end user experience for folks as well.
Okay.
The bill in front of us says 13,280, not 12,000.
Yeah. Just when you do the motion, it just is a typo, that's all.
There's a typo. It's 13,000,
Yeah.
280.
not 12.
Yeah, 15.
That was,
I'll find it. Sure.
one of the local restaurants was asking about how they could advertise on our Facebook, and they said we had an outside source, managing it. She wanted to promote her school lunch or whatever,
I got it.
so maybe this might be a little easier for her to do so.
Are we gonna end that other contract with the other one?
So that would end at the end of the year. This is gonna take some time for training and onboarding, and they take some time to make the site talk to each other and work. And so that's why we were getting the discount of $4,000 if we did it now, because they know if we waited till fall, that's be their busiest time and we wouldn't have had a smooth transition. And so if we do that now, so you will be kind of paying a twofold factor on until we can break clean from one and move forward with them. But this will be our smoothest transition that we could do at a discounted rate.
Okay, any other comments, questions? So I'm looking for a motion to approve the Apogee contract in the amount of $13,280. Do we have a motion?
I'll make the motion with the correction.
Motion is by Danielle, is there support?
Support.
Support by Shelley. Any other comments or questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item E is a motion to adopt a resolution to accept donations from the following. We have accepting a basket of winter items and snacks donation from the Grace Lutheran Church to support the high school pantry. A resolution accepting winter clothing donation from Dylan Perkovich to support children in need. A resolution accepting $2,000 donation from SFM to support the Winter Slips and Falls Reduction Safety Grant Program. Resolution accepting a $3,099.33 donation from the Dr. Ben Owens Fund to support outdoor education equipment, snowshoes for little feet. A resolution accepting $250 donation from William and Marlo Fortune to support the Keat Club. And a resolution accepting school supply donations from the United Way of Northeastern Minnesota to support children in need. So I'm looking for a motion to support this resolution 21-12-13. Motion is by Jackie. Is there support? Support by Cindy. Comments or questions?
Just a comment, I'm the liaison between Kiwanis Club and the Key Club, and we had them for lunch last month, and Bill Fortune is our president or the regional president, and he was so impressed with the small club, all the things that they were doing, that's why he's like, I'd like to make it a donation. So that was kind of cute, and kudos to the Key Club, because they're a really small group.
Yeah.
But they're doing a lot of things.
How many are in the Key Club?
Right now, I think there's only like 5, but they're kind of joining up with, oh gosh, the name has escaped me now, another club in the school.
IYA.
What is it?
IYA.
Yes, IYA, thank you.
Okay.
So yeah, it was kind of neat.
Fabulous. Well,
Yeah.
thanks
Good kids.
Shelley. Yeah. Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept these donations. Could we have a roll call, please, Lisa?
Director Seaver,
Yes.
Director Rice,
Yes.
Director Price,
Yes.
Director Sonic,
Yes.
Director Lackey,
Yes.
Board Chair Raleigh.
Yes. Motion carries. Okay. Moving on to next item is discussion, and we have none. And then, anything on information, we don't have anything under that for right now. Your enrollment numbers are in your packet, and now curriculum updates.
So I think Teresa was planning on coming and she's out chasing her trout fish eggs. They were supposed to be here the other day and due to some shipping issues and the storm down south. So she hit the road to go take care of that. I would like them to come and present in the future because they are doing some neat things. I know on Wednesdays, every other Wednesday, we're using our time to onboard Schoology with the teachers. We have different levels of groups getting different types of training and more of a teachers training the teacher model. There's some updates in here about some gifted and talented programs that we're moving forward with and some math enrichment. They just started second step, which is our SEL curriculum. And they literally just had training on that, I believe, last week. They're vetting some different math programs and they've been attending different meetings as far as MEASC and looking at some multi-tiered systems of supports. So they also took on the role of testing in the district, so they will be helping support testing as well, amongst the many other things they're doing. So they're doing some great stuff and they're great to work with because they're really excited about moving some of these things forward.
Just tell them to get going.
That too.
Fabulous, that's good stuff, appreciate that. Okay. I'll now entertain a motion to adjourn. Yeah, and we're going into a closed session for a personnel matter. So I'm entertaining that motion to adjourn.
So maybe.
Motion by Jackie, support by Shelley. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. It is 5:44.
Hey, you're just